So just a little bit about myself. I've been practicing since 2009. I've been in Minot since 2012, and interested in natural health and healing for all that time.
And I have been, let's see, just a little over 24 years, I think, in practice. So excited about that. CornerStone got rolling in August of 2000, so it's been 24 years. CornerStone's been rocking, and it's fun to be doing this actually from a new spot.
Yeah, absolutely. We got our new building here, which we just moved into November, and it's been a great experience, honestly. Nice to have the space, looks beautiful, and it's all about the patient experience. So we wanted to make it a little bit more upscale, a little better experience for people as they're enjoying their health.
Yeah, we've been serving Minot for 24 years this year in August, and Dr. Matt and I committed to fully investing in this practice and in the services that we're going to chat about a little bit about with you here in a bit, bringing new things to Minot continuously in the form of natural health, regenerative care, and just making you the best version of yourself.
Really exciting stuff too. I practiced for a number of years in Minneapolis, and I know you practice in Rochester, and I love the people of Minot, I love the people of North Dakota, and I always wanted to give that big city service in the smaller town. And this is a really good canvas on which to paint that picture. In our old space, which we loved, we spent a lot of time there. Just got a little cramped. A lot of the stuff we wanted to bring and introduce to the community, we couldn't. Not because we didn't think it would be beneficial for you, or because we think it would have a hard time making it work here. We didn't have the space. So now we do, so it's pretty exciting.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned being in Minneapolis and practicing somewhere else. When we moved back here, well, that was one of the things that we missed about being on, is the restaurants, the coffee shops, and different things like that. But in the healthcare space, I'm just going to ask you, Dr. Matt, what do you think? I mean, one of the things that we're doing now that's very different and hasn't been in Minot until we brought it in here with CornerStone. What would be something in our practice that you think people should know about that's just totally unique to Minot?
Well, we're the only ones in the state doing QSM3 upper cervical. We have the Invisared weight loss laser, which has been just tremendous for our patients. It kind of does the work of losing weight for you now. If you also help yourself along with it, works better. And then SoftWave, bringing that into our community has been tremendous. We also have the Back on Track decompression chairs, which are the industry is really kind of falling in love with in the decompression space, fixing discs non-surgically, because it's able to be customized to your exact malady. It's really cool. How about you? Anything come to your mind?
No, those are right on target with the thoughts I had. And when you start adding them up, it's kind of dizzying actually a little bit to say, well, we've implemented this and this and this, because each one of those on their own helps a lot of different people with a lot of different things.
Yes.
It's been awesome to see our patients respond to that SoftWave that you mentioned, that stem cell regenerative therapy. I mean, from young people, athletes, to broken feet, to like we just started an individual that has spinal stenosis yesterday under care, and wanting to be able to stand up straight and be able to walk. And so we're super excited the variety of different people we can help with.
There's more to come too. And then we have nutrition that we offer here too, which is pretty exciting. One thing that I will say, since graduating chiro school in 2009, chiropractic and what we offer here and what we're trying to bring here has been pretty much my healthcare since then, and my family's healthcare. And since I moved over into a more natural, holistic type of healthcare, including chiropractic primarily, good nutrition, exercise, that kind of stuff, I'm actually healthier now when I moved my healthcare over to this model than I was before when I was in the former model.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. It's funny. This last couple of weeks ago, I went to my life insurance was terming out. I'd had it for a number of years. It ends at a certain time. Getting term insurance, and so was getting some new life insurance. And they're asking about who's your medical doctor, and they were asking my wife, what doctor have you been? And it's actually a problem for them when you haven't been
exactly.
in.
They think you're just they think you're just not taking care of
yourself.
Right?
Your wife hasn't seen anybody. Like, well, no, actually not. So anyway, I agree. It's amazing what can happen when you take care of yourself.
It really is.
I'm thankful for it.
So just to jump on that, I know my son doesn't really never been to a doctor other than his mom and my myself who are chiropractors. We did bring him in once on the advice of his midwife and this is going to sound crazy. I'm sorry, I know it sounds amazing for a lot of people. Hopefully, throughout this series, you'll begin to understand where we're coming from a little bit more. But on the advice of his midwife, we did bring him in to see a pediatrician just to get a file started, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And if we'd had a scale at home and a tape measure, we could have avoided that $1,300 or whatever it cost.
Yeah, right.
But since then, I'm blessed to say that there hasn't been health struggles that have necessitated a need for that. So it's been awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic. There's limitations to our natural matter in our bodies, but thankfully we do recover, we do heal, and that's what we talk about here basically every day.
Yep,
is that regeneration and that healing and the hope that can go along with that. And it just takes effort, it takes focus, and we've got a lot of great things in the practice here that we love being able to measure people's progress and their response to the care, and it's pretty
That's
exciting.
another thing that's really cool is the Insight Self-Fixation Station we offer, which gives you one thing that is just, it's everywhere right now in the literature. Everyone's talking about it is vagal tone. That's one of the things we measure the first day through heart rate variability. And people with autoimmune diseases, people with behavioral issues, etc., it sees really clearly what's going on with that test.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's easy. That's one of the things people, when we talk about a nervous system scan, people go, what is that? Because they're used to getting needles poked
Exactly.
in and ripping hair off.
I've had one of those, I don't want one again. Yeah.
So thankfully, in our office, the heart rate variability Dr. Matt is talking about, you put your 3 fingers, just slide them into these little sensors, and it's a 3-minute scan of that nervous system function of heart rate variability and how your heart rate varies up and down, how the intensity of it, the speed of it, and so forth. And even for our infants, we've got a little ear clip that we put right on their, just right on their ear, and they can sit in mom's lap or dad's lap and get that measured to check their nervous system response.
The genius of it is that it's got 3 texts: so it's heart rate variability, therm scan, and EMG. And none of it's invasive. It all measures just what's coming off of you.
Right.
And so the fact they put that together has been a really great deal, because we can then track patients' progress and see how they're progressing through care and what we're doing, how it's working.
Yeah, I gotta share just a little thing, and this is just kind of speaks to what the CornerStone team over the years has put together for our patients to choose what we have. One of our new patients this morning, when I was having a conversation with her and going through the scans that we do and the digital x-rays that we do in our office and so forth, and explaining what was going on, it was just the start of her first appointment, and she said, "You've explained more to me today than the other provider I went to had for the entire time of her care."
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like the beginning. We just take it for granted. Actually, I think some of the things that we talk about with our new patients, and with our patients in general, this is what we do: is educate, and we help people understand their health. So that was just really encouraging. I'm like, really? That's great.
Yeah, it's really powerful too with the scans and with the digital x-rays to be able to just take somebody over in 30 seconds and be like, "See that there? That's why you've been having this problem for the last 10 years."
Right. Yeah.
And it's really eye-opening. They're like, "Whoa, okay." Yeah, and they were probably the 5th stop they've had on their journey to getting it dealt with.
Yeah, and there's been many people that we've done digital x-rays with that have said, "Well, I've been to a chiropractor, but I've never actually had an x-ray." And that's kind of shocking to me, because we know that structure has a huge impact on function. We don't all focus on the bones by any means. It's the nervous system, the power of the body, that life force, if you will. But that structure does have impact.
It certainly does. Yeah, absolutely. And how it affects the nervous system, that's where we come into play.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
Yeah.
So I know my answer to this, but why did you want to do this podcast, Dr. Fielauber?
Well, frankly, it makes you a little nervous, speaking like this and going live. But we walk the talk, and I thought it was just a great opportunity to try to communicate just raw and real what we do in real time. And we have so many things that pop up that in our practice from day to day with the things we talk about with our patients and the team and different providers. Why aren't we sharing this more in just a real, completely transparent, open manner, and trying to help people see the possibilities of something different? And there's so many people that make appointments here that had no clue that we do what we do, or that there was even an option in the field of healthcare to do something like this. And I'm like, so this is an opportunity to try and raise that level of awareness, for our practice and for the health of the general public in particular. But also one other piece is that as we go through this, our goal is to bring in other professionals and community members to have conversation with, which we haven't talked about. And I think that there's a lot of great providers and great ideas out there that can be explored and have conversations about. And whether we agree completely with them or not, it'll be really great to have some conversations like that, and look forward to that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How about you? Why?
Really, along those same lines, to get the information that we have. Like I said, one of my big things is, since I've started the chiropractic journey, I've enjoyed, I'm healthier now in my 40s than I was in my 20s. And my family enjoys a very high level of health. And I don't want to keep that a secret. I've never tried to keep it a secret, but we get a limited amount of time with our patients. So it's nice to be able to open this up, expand that relationship, and share a lot of the stuff that we found to be helpful in our own lives. And absolutely. And then also to be able to, get ourselves a little more ingrained in the community by interviewing different professionals, orthodontists, neurologists, stuff like that, that it would be good to get them a voice too, and you guys other resources.
Yeah. So if you're listening now or later and you got somebody that you, or a topic that you'd like to have us cover, reach out to us. One of our right-hand men here, Jay, would make sure that he gets that information to us so that we can bring something forward to you. If a question in the form of that, comment, or an individual you think that we should bring on. And if you are one of those people, you come across this talk and you want to come on here and have a conversation, reach out to us. We'd be happy to, open that dialogue and certainly try to help everybody get healthier overall.
Absolutely. Some of the upcoming stuff we have that's kind of exciting. We have this Thursday we have a workshop on the gut-brain connection.
Awesome.
Really cool, powerful stuff. Just a little highlight of it is we talked about the vagus nerve earlier, and if there's not a connection, a strong connection between your gut and your brain, doesn't matter what you put in there. You can put all thousands of dollars worth of supplements and medications in there. But if the gut doesn't know what the brain's doing or vice versa, it's not going to make much of a difference. So we'll be talking about that on Thursday. I know you've got a cool event coming up in June, right?
Yeah, we've got pickleball in the park. So pretty passionate about pickleball.
That's kind of tough to say.
Yeah.
Passionate about pickleball.
Yeah, that's a mouthful. Yeah, it's a great form of exercise, and we won't spend a whole lot of time chatting about it on here. Maybe we'll have another episode about it at some point. Bring on a pickleball expert or something. But June 4th, Tuesday, limited number of spots because we've got a pickleball coach coming in to help people understand a few of the rules and how to play the game. And then I'm certainly going to start the time off over at Roosevelt Park over there, going through some stretching things. Pickleball, there's a lot of injuries when people get into pickleball. I've had a few of them actually. When you start playing more, it seems like something you don't really need to warm up for or take care of yourself for, and you just jump into it, and that can cause problems. So we're going to go through some stretching things there. We'll have some snacks. That'll be a good time too. So.
One thing I always like to say is my knucklehead friends will always be like, never seen a cheetah stretch. And I always tell them, cheetahs are like 3 years old.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
There's a 44-year-old cheetah, he'd probably be stretching a little bit.
Yeah, right. If he wakes up in the morning and feels like, I do it some mornings, I'm like, yeah, you better be stretching.
Yeah, absolutely. It is an important thing.
That's good.
It's nice to have aged into my job a little bit so I can start following a little more around advice that I've been giving for the last number of years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We'll just touch on, I think, that some of the differences between what a chiropractor does for those of you that aren't our patients or aren't familiar with it, and a medical doctor does. There's needs for both in the world. One of the biggest things is a thing called salutogenesis, which is what chiropractic is kind of founded on, which is based on adding health versus treating particular diseases. So there's no disease, ailment, or any kind of malady known to man that doesn't respond favorably to getting the whole system healthier.
Yeah, that's great. Dr. Matt and I share this crazy, wild belief of the salutogenesis. And in essence, another form of it is saying that we're designed to be basically healthy and well versus being designed to be sick.
Yes.
And having that mindset that we're designed by God to be healthy, it changes what you do for yourself and how you take care of yourself. And that's a big a belief structure, and it can impact your choices.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that's one of the big differences in the philosophy is that anytime somebody comes in, we're trying to get them healthier. Another big, easy way to say it, the difference is that chiropractic is proactive. We work on building the health in advance of any kind of disease or sickness or stress that you might face, whereas medicine's a bit more reactive in how they care for people, waiting for there to be a problem and then addressing it. And it becomes more difficult at that point because it's already set into the physiology. So we try to get the system healthier to deal with stresses versus addressing what the stress has caused.
Right. Yeah. And we're big team believers, in the team care, and you've got different uses of different types of healthcare and different times. Certainly, you don't call the firefighting crew to rebuild your house. Right. I mean, that's an analogy, if you will, that when your house is on fire, you better call the fire
department.
Right. But once the fire's out, you don't call those guys back to come back in and redo your house.
No.
I mean, you're calling a carpenter, a finisher person, and so there's some analogies in that, if you will, for wellness and prevention and restorative care, regenerative care. It's a very different approach when you look at it that way than it is from putting out a fire, which medicine's really good at.
Yeah.
Thankful for that. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
I am too in my own life. I think we've done a pretty good job introducing ourselves here. I want to say thanks to our producer Jay.
Yeah,
set all this
absolutely.
up and recording us here.
Yeah.
In the future, we'll be going live on Tuesdays. So mark your calendars. Come up here with your questions. We'd be happy to address them live on air if we can. And then this podcast is being recorded, so you can listen to it on your own leisure.
Perfect.
In the future.
Yeah, we appreciate your time, and certainly reach out to us with any comments, questions, things that you'd like us to cover. We'd love to hear from you. That's really the purpose of what we're spending our time here, is to reach out to you guys, and certainly not because we're experts in communicating like this, but we love being here, and it's a good time, and we want to create that interaction with you further. So yeah,
absolutely,
appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we look forward to talking to you more in the future.
Have a good day.
Great,
good job.
Yeah, good.
I thought that was good.